Good morning and welcome to Tea and Conversation Live here. I am on my second season, feeling real good this morning in my self spirit. We have another candidate here with us this morning on Tea and Conversation Live. And you all know we have a special election coming up. City Council District 5, and I have on with me Pastor Elvis Pickett. Good morning, Pastor Elvis. Elvis, how you doing, sir?
I'm wonderful. Glad to be alive another day. Good morning to you, and thank you for having me.
Good morning. We're just going to go ahead on and jump right in, and we want to definitely say that if we have any comments in the chat, you're welcome to put a comment in, and if we have enough time here, we will definitely get to your question. Let's go right into it, Pastor Elvis Pickett. Again, he's running for City Council District 5. What are the top three issues facing District 5, and how do you plan on addressing them?
Economics, I think that what plagues District 5, and not all of District 5, but
Mm-hmm.
the unrepresented District 5. And so when we talk about District 5, we have to also remember that there's a part of District 5 that is represented and there's a part that is unrepresented. Economics is going to be one of those things, getting money, getting jobs into people's hand for they can be able to have money in their hand to take care of their families. Making sure that District 5 is working and jobs, employment is working for everyone. Housing, affordable housing, making sure that people are
Mm,
not displaced and removed from where they've been born, raised, family, and just making sure that they can also be able to, as things develop, as things are improving, as we are focusing on areas and bringing them up, that those people that has been there will be able to remain there. And then that third thing that I will most definitely focus on is business, nonprofits, and entrepreneurship, making sure that those
mm,
people within District 5 that have businesses that want to become business owners, but most of them, as we see when we do the Hall of Fame that you've done, and kudos to you for that for 2 years straight, thinking about that, how many of those businesses within District 5 have not been able to benefit from the budget or from any kind of revenue from the city. And they've been in business in this area for so long. We want to address those issues, and those are three priorities that I'll take serious and focus on when I become elected.
let me stop you right there because I have a passion for definitely Black-owned businesses in the city, and can you be a little more specific in reference to how we can get more of those funding to the Black-owned businesses in our community?
When we are promoting apprenticeship, and when we're promoting
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneurship, internship, and different things in development projects within our city has something pushing the city contracts to prioritize those local businesses, and we have a community benefit agreement. Having that, it means nothing if we're not enforcing that, if we're not following through with that, if we're not calling those businesses after we get that community benefit agreement. If we're not calling those businesses first, Candy, we have to know the businesses within our area. We need to know the
Mm-hmm.
businesses and the Black-owned businesses that can benefit from those fundings. And so once we know those businesses and have identified them, we want to make sure that they have all the proper paperwork and everything done to be able to be vendors with the city, and they have all that and the resources. And we can say, yes, those resources is there. But have we went out to those businesses and walked them through it? Have we came to tea and conversations where those businesses is at and where they're coming to share their businesses, and made sure that those informations is out, and making sure that it is enforced. But most of all, we want to make sure that we bring those businesses to the table when it's time to do negotiations. And when we're talking about the percentages that's going to certain businesses, are these businesses on those lists?
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for that. If you're just joining us, I am on with Pastor Elvis Pickett. He is one of the candidates for Tampa City Council District 5, this moves me right into how would you invest in programs for youth, especially in the underserved communities?
That's one of those things. When I talked about a little bit a few minutes ago, funding and partnering with our
Mhm.
local schools. We will most definitely partner with our school board. We have great representation there that support, and we have also county commission. The thing that I think is lacking when it comes down to making sure that our kids have different programs and for programs are funded is the creativity. We can't just fund programs. You have to do the work. And I think when you're out there doing the work with our young people every day and you hear the needs of our kids, my question would really be, Candy, if the truth be told, how many representatives actually, while we want to host town halls for votes, while we want to host town halls for information, how many of us honestly have really considered hosting a conversation or an
Mhm.
event for just young people and hear their heart? What, just listening to them on every age level, because what the high schoolers need is not what the middle schoolers need, and what the middle school need do not reflect what the elementary students need. But communicating with those principals in those areas, communicating with our school board, having that table in that roundhouse with our young people, and actually finding out what they need, and then going to the table and have that conversation to put that money in the budget, but then also work with our business partners, work with our partners in the area, and turn back around and work with our mayor. Because I don't believe that it's a lack of concern. I believe that it's a lack of creativity in how to get it done.
Mhm. I know you definitely have a passion for children. Period. Is there? Because I just want to ask this, Elvis. I know you are around children all the time, and when you're around high schoolers, are they talking about some of the issues that hinder them, or some of the issues that concern them, or some of the wants that they need in the community, or some of the resources that they need in the community?
Absolutely. Candy, it almost gave me chills when you said that. And the reason for that is because um, I hear their concern. And I'm
Mhm.
gonna say their concern. Their concern is jobs. They want to work.
Mm,
They want to work. And so it plagues me and it hurts when you hear community people say they need to do something, or you hear whether it's law enforcement or they're finding themselves in trouble and things is happening in their lives. But from the age of them getting in 10th grade and some ninth grade, they're begging for opportunity to work. They want jobs. And a lot of them is fighting with themselves that, oh, well, I just got to go to McDonald's. Some of them don't want to go to McDonald's, even though, as I always encourage them, that was a start for me. Grateful for Blake
mhm,
Casper that opened the door for me at 14 years old and gave me the opportunity to work. Grateful for Publix that during the summer I was able to work at Publix. Great jobs. But our young people want to have nice things. Some of our young people we have parents that is doing their very best and they provide for our young people each and every day. But our young people, sometimes they want to get those finer things and they don't have the resources to do it. They want to be able
mhm,
to get them a vehicle and go to school on senior year and they can drive and get them a senior space in the parking lot. They want to go. I watch in different neighborhoods where they going with their family and painting their parking space with their all the stuff they're doing to create their nice parking space.
mhm,
Our kids don't get that benefit and that privilege. These young people want opportunities to work. And I'm grateful for Nancy Million, our tax collector, that heard and knew my heart from while she was running for tax collector, saying, we used to have OJT, Candy, when I grew up. That was one
mhm,
of our electives. We had OJT. We went to work, and that was our class. We was able to leave school, go to work, get that paper signed, come back, and that was how we got our class, our A in that class. class. We need to get our kids back to work, and we need to work with development. While we got developers developing, we need to find out how we can get internships. We need to find out how we can get these kids on the job paid, and they'll be able to take care of themselves, buy the necessities of things they need. And if we can get our young people to work, we'll see a big difference when it comes down to crime. We'll see a big difference when it comes down to how many of our kids is hanging out on the street. Our young people want to be employed.
Mm-hmm. And with that being said, because you are really laying it out in reference to our young people, in reference to jobs, I know when I was in high school, we had the CETA program as well. How would you get the message out? Because I know we did have some summer jobs. We were not able to get all of those jobs filled. How would you ensure with if there is 90 jobs, if there's 75 jobs, how would you secure that we get all of those jobs filled in our community and getting the word out?
Katie, that great question, because I believe that we have resources, but I'm really puzzled with how we as elected officials, and I'll say that because I'm speaking prior that I'll become, don't use the resources we have available. And what one of those resources is, if we're looking to employ young people, number one, we can't wait till the last minute to put the word out. We know this is coming up. We need to make sure our young people is prepared. We know the summer is coming. The summer don't just pop up. The summer comes every year the same time. If we know we're going to be getting our young people, we need to be working with the school board right now. We need to be letting the schools know they have a communications in the school board, in the school district. We should be communicating, and the school district should be sending that information in those areas from the principals. We have parent links that principals send out when there's something going on in our schools. They send it out when there's negativity. What do it look like when the parent can get a parent link or email or phone call saying that we're employing your children, working and merging with the city this summer? Sign them up. Why can't we have that and have officials at those schools before school let out? Before school let out, we ought to be there signing up, getting information from our youth, saying, hey, if you want to be employed, they have Great American Teach In. We need to be getting data. We can go to that school and be great. I will be at those schools for Great American Teach In, letting them know what I do and letting them know how the city could help them also. Getting that email, getting that information, and making sure that we get the word out. Getting in the community, talking to parents, making sure that we get certain areas and we're employing the students in certain areas that is really desperately trying to find a job. Because sadly, a lot of young people did not have an idea that that opportunity was even available to them this summer, and they missed it.
Thank you so much for that answer. Will you ensure transparency and accountability in your role as a council member?
Absolutely. I mean, accountability. If you know me for any period of time, you'll know that accountability is so major. Transparency is necessary. We can't do anything, and we should not do anything without really just having that conversation with our constituents, because they're the one hire us. They're the one sends us and tell us to represent them. And how can you represent me when you won't talk to me? And I can say accountability will be very serious for me, because not only will I hold myself accountable, but I'll hold those around me accountable. I'll hold my colleagues accountable to communicate. There may be decisions that my constituents may not appreciate a vote for or may not want, but is passed. I think our constituents deserve the respect, not just to pass votes and pass ordinances and keep on moving, but for us to communicate to them the why it was passed, how it was passed, and what this looked like because it was passed. We owe it to our constituents to have that level of transparency. And that's with the budget, that's with ordinance, that's with anything that's going on in this job. That's how you stay employed, by being accountable and being transparent. And that's how I intend on getting employed. And that's how I intend on staying employed.
Mm-hmm. And this rolls me right into the next question. If you're just joining me, I am on with Elvis Pickett. He's a candidate for City Council District 5. If you're just coming on, I would like for you to share and tag a couple of your friends, because this is a special election and we want to make sure that you are informed in getting the word out to your community and your neighbors. How do you plan to involve residents in major decisions that impact their neighborhoods? We want to make sure that they are involved. And how would you do that?
One of those things, I will constantly promote and push participation throughout our city, supporting events. I will stay in our community. One thing always shocked me is that as a candidate, I see candidates knock on doors. I see them knock on doors. I see them send out mailers. I see them put yard signs. I see candidates do a lot of things in order to persuade a vote, to ask for a vote. But once elected, somehow I think the candidates and then become elected officials forget how to get the information out. I will make sure the information get out to my community the same way I got my name out to ask them to vote for me. I'm bamboozled. It's almost like it's a joke that it's like, oh, you guys didn't get the information? No. Did you take all of the steps you took when you wanted to be elected? You went through email, you went through door knocking, you went through mailers, you went through phone, text messages, you went through everything to let me know you was on the ballot. And so please do the same to let me know that my community is getting ready to be impacted by something that could impact my everyday living. And so I will continue to be on the ground. I will continue to reach out to the constituents the same way, whether that's having my administration reach out to precincts, not just the voters, but everyone in that area. Whether we will have those town hall meetings, that town hall meeting stuff is really cute, it's fun, and it's a buzzword. People are not, if you go have a town hall and you got 6 people there, you're not informing your community. So how do we do that? Reaching them where they are. Visit our churches, make sure those pastors have that information, and ask those pastors to spread that information throughout their congregation. And then also making sure that we can go to those grocery stores. District 5 also have some great restaurants that people will love to share information. We have to be able to communicate with Walmart. Ask Walmart, could you put this information right here on your community partnership board? We just have to be creative. And I think that's what District 5 has forgot. They forgot they don't have creativity. And we need to make sure somebody's there that's creative to know how to get the information out.
Thank you so much for that answer. How would you ensure equitable economic development, passion in my heart, across all neighborhoods in District 5? And before you answer, we know that there are disparities in different areas in District 5. I can go from one end to the next end and experience different things. So how would you ensure economic development, that it is fair across the board in all neighborhoods?
Honestly, as I said in the beginning, when we talk District 5, it worries me a little bit when you have candidates that says District 5 is very diverse. I agree. It worries me when I hear them say District 5 is downtown and is channel side. I did something, Candy. In the process of running, I've communicated with the constituents. And I've said to the constituents, I've spoke to some of the people, and I said to them, hey, my name is Elvis. I'm running for District 5 City Council. I would love to have your vote. They asked the question. They said, am I District 5? I said, yes, ma'am, you're in District 5. They said, oh, okay. I said, also, Channel Side is in District 5. Downtown is in District 5. Tampa Heights, Amateur Works area, that's also District 5. Really? That's part of this district? It's shocking. There's some areas you can go in District 5 and will not have no idea that it's a part of District 5, because District 5 has been for so long looked at and seen. If the truth be told, District 5, the forgotten part of District 5 is Sulphur Springs, East Tampa. That's District 5 as well. But what has happened is District 5 has been carved out to been focused on directly downtown Channel Side and Tampa Heights area. Ybor City, that's District 5. It's unfair. if reality that the same people pay the same taxes, the voters that elect a person to District 5 seat comes from Hannah. The voters that goes out and say we want real representation is in East Tampa. And so I think that what I will do is make sure I focus on the forgotten part of District 5, because every part of District 5 is not forgotten. And oftentimes we get elected officials that get in this seat and forget the very people that put them there, and often forget where we come from. I'll be your elected official that would never forget that Sulphur Springs is where we used to play. I won't forget that East Tampa is where we used to walk to the corner store on Charlie's and get ice cream and get the blended with the strawberry and vanilla. I won't forget that we used to go around and get the Cuban sandwiches from Joyce's. We won't forget the areas that has been forgotten. And so when I'm your representative, I'll make sure not only are we talking about Channel Side, and not only are we talking about development in those areas, but we're talking about making sure not only that we're developing that area, but the people that's in that area is able to benefit from the development of the area. That's important for me.
Mm-hmm. And why do you believe that you are the right person at this time to represent District 5?
Creativity, Candy. We need it. We need the creativity. We need the collaboration, and we need the compassion. We need someone in this seat that will be creative. How? What is creative? Getting it done, figuring out ways, communicating. We need someone that's not going to be argumentative, but most definitely is not going to be a pushover. We want someone that's going to be collaborative, understanding the power of the mayor, but not just dealing with the mayor because of the power of the mayor, but understanding that the mayor holds keys. But we don't want, we're not getting in the seat to shake because of the mayor, but we want to collaborate with the mayor. We want to be able to deliver common sense conversation to the mayor, to ask why are we not getting considered at the table. We want to have someone in the seat that asks the tough questions, and we need someone compassionate. 19 years of my life, it's been about serving our community. It's been about focusing on our tomorrow's generation. It's been about celebrating our glorious past and embracing our promising future. It's been about pushing and making sure that our young people and our young men that is graduating could be real good men in society, working and building. It's been about making sure our senior citizens is not forgotten and losing the very things that they built their whole living to build homes and making sure these things take place, but doing it from a place of compassion, not obligation. And so I'm saying that this is the time that we roll over the tide. This is the time that we focus on something new. This is the time that we realize that our generation is at stake. And if we make the wrong decision now, we could put a setback on the generation that is pleading and begging to be seen right now. This is our hour to win back our generation. And I'm asking you for a vote because I know your vote, you could trust me with it. I'm telling you, your vote will not be handled any lightly. I will take it serious. But most of all, remember your sons, your daughters, your grandchildren, they're at stake. And we got to start building our tomorrow. And with me at the helm, I'll make sure it's done while we're securing our today.
Thank you so much, Elvis Pickett. Elvis is running for City Council District 5. We all know that it is a special election. His website is right there as well, www.electelvis.com. Elvis, if you would like to give us all the dates that are coming up for the election, because we want to make sure that our community know, that those that do not know that there's an election coming up, they know that it is and what those dates are.
Thank you so much, Candy, for having me. I want to appreciate you for all that you do in our community. Black Business Bus Tour, Black Business Hall of Fame, and Tea and Conversations. You have spent your entire time building community, focusing on all those that matters and those that have been forgotten. I'm Elvis Pickett running for this seat, and I'm running not because I'm bored. I'm running not because I had anything else to do. I'm running because I believe that it's necessary that we get someone in this seat that will make it happen. On September 4th through the 7th is early voting. We have 4 polls that you can do early voting. We want you to come out. We know the turnout possibly could be low, but make sure your vote is counted. Make sure that whatever, as we say in the church, I want to be in the number. I want to be in the number. Make sure you're in the number when it's time to count those votes. 4th through the 7th is early voting. Election day is September the 9th. Can I tell you that vote by mail is already being mailed to your house right now? Your ballot possibly could be in your mailbox this week. It will be in your mailbox this week. I want you to get that ballot. You don't have to wait to September. Go ahead and bubble in Elvis Piggott and send that ballot, fold it up, sign it, send it on back. I want you to know that, again, you can trust me with your vote. Those dates are very important. Let's tell mama them and let's tell uncle them. Let's get out and vote and let's elect Elvis. Let's elect Elvis to city council.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me this morning, Elvis Piggott. Tea and Conversation Live this morning. I want to say thank you, everyone, for joining us this morning. Make sure you tag a friend. Make sure you share it out to all of your social media platforms. This is a special election. You definitely want to be a part of it if you're a part of this East Tampa District 5 area as well. And again, this is Tea and Conversation Live with Candy Lowe and Pastor Elvis Piggott. You know what? I say your name all day, every day, all day, every day. You are my pastor. And listen, I'm so grateful for you coming on this morning. Have a great day. Go out and continue knocking on those doors. Take care.
Thank
Have
you
a great
so
day,
much.
everyone.
Have a great day. Yes, ma'am.